More traps, more enemies, and more frustration. Prince of Persia: The Shadow and the Flame, or PoP 2, makes big improvements and enforces aspects of the core design that it inherited from PoP 1. If you thought Prince of Persia demanded you take your time and be methodical, then you have no idea what you're in for. Rushing ahead and being impatient will get you a one-way ticket to Pissed Off City. We aren't in Uno reverse timeline yet, so repeated mistakes will still hit pretty hard even with checkpoints in the game and the ability to save these checkpoints. That doesn't take away the climb up the temple to make the jump getting through the health jug puzzle. Whoops, you screwed up. Guess you're stuck on the jump for half an hour, and let's build up some toxic frustration. Don't be me and try and storm the game in one go. It takes some familiarity to get through it in one sitting. And you don't want to be pissing rage up a tower, getting by jumps and traps and Birdman duels only to beat him with a single health point remaining. Unsurprisingly, the pressure peaked and I rage quit for a week. Only once I returned, vitriol purged, could I continue. So let's actually play this game then. Now, not even a fortnight after he killed the vizier and married the princess, some imposter it's the vizier. They don't even try to hide this. The vizier survived and has taken the prince's likeness. He even goes so far as to use magic to make the prince look like a random beggar. I didn't even notice that until I did this video. So the guards are sent after you and all you can do is hightail it to the docks to escape. The prince gets a vision of a palace and the woman seeking him, before not the vizier scuttles the merchant ship you're chilling on. And once you pass the portal of copy protection, the quest begins. The dungeon mainly serves as the tutorial area, a few obvious traps, maybe a skelly bulb if you're being adventurous, just enough stuff to get you acclimated to the control and less sticky movement. There isn't even an obnoxious timer to worry about. Not yet, anyway. Soon enough we get a cutscene where it's revealed that, shocking! The vizier was the imposter all along! And he poisons the princess, takes over the kingdom, because the sultan's out buying gummy bears. And so he declares martial law on the kingdom. What I like is the game doesn't immediately drop a timer on you. As far as I know, you have to die once to get the tree cutscene. Every 10 or so minutes that drop off the timer, that shows a new clip as the tree dies. I thought we were saving the princess and our damn bonsai tree. Well, the princess and her bush need tending to. Holy balls, that's a bad joke. Firstly, we need to get out of this cave. It's cool and all, but the Skelepoys aren't exactly the best for conversation. Luckily, we can snag a magic carpet right out of this place. Off to the ancient ruins and Snake Fortress, as I like to call it. Take a friggin' guess why. The lady from the visions is waiting for us here, but first we have to discuss the worst part of this game. Trial and error gameplay, at the end of the day, is just part of Mecner's design, as dickish as it is. But the Medusas were a mistake. You're supposed to hit them in a rhythm or parry them when they come at you so they get hurt, but it feels like if you screw up once, they just stunlock you to death. I lost my shit the moment one of them double tapped me in one pass. So believe me, I was on the verge of screaming rage when they started triple tapping me. What I think my issue lies with the health increase boss taking more effort to acquire, and if you don't hit a checkpoint, tough shit pal, do it again. The health increase pots are more important than ever. Aside from fully healing you, they have a secret purpose. We'll get to it. Eventually you'll climb up to a large room with a cool looking sword. Turns out this was the kingdom the prince's parents ruled from before a vile force of darkness swept over the kingdom. Hey, would you look at that? You're a real prince after all, kid. And no, the new sword does nothing. It just has a +3 sentimental value. One magical pony ride later, we arrive at the sanctum of the parrot peeps. Yes! Yes! Actual bipedal opponents! I don't care that we jump from baby mode skeletons to monks that do nothing but spar all day. I'm just happy to fight an enemy that doesn't cheat. Holy balls, this section's unforgiving though. Traps and sequences that require excellent timing to pass or you just get booted to the checkpoint. The whole section is just a gauntlet. Liberal use of the save function will reduce lost time. So let's talk about that secret jug ability I was hinting at a few minutes ago. The shadow is an ability the prince got after the shadow fiasco in the last game. If you have enough health, you can tear your shadow from your body and explore the level. The downside is it cuts your max health down by 8 points. But again, you get to fill up before the finale, so it doesn't matter. The reason I was a bit hesitant to use it was the end of this dungeon is the section where you have to become the shadow and claim the flame. The game even tells you that you need to die in order to claim the flame. I didn't know that there was a section later on where you can just fill up on health pots before the finale, so, otherwise I would have abused the ability more. So you pass this ridiculous gauntlet and get into the altar of flame, become the shadow and... oh, I'm dead. Wait, why am I dead? I died, or I became the shadow, the same thing, and the flame killed me. Guess what? I did their fancy cutscene wrong. You're supposed to die and wait for a cutscene to play where you get the magic that is the flame and revive. Except they made it as unintuitive as it is humanly possible. The bad guy at the end isn't even super hard to kill. Guess you're stuck here because you can't die the right way. And becoming the shadow does nothing, as we've established. You can't die before the screen or it's a simple reload. And worst of all, if by some miracle you die at the hands of this chump and press any of the usual buttons that reload the last checkpoint, it reloads the last checkpoint. It even says press button to continue. Look, just make the last guy impossible to beat and don't let me restart with a button press. Easy. The scene plays the way it should and no one gets a game over trying this over and over again. Anyway, after escaping with a flame, it's off to face the Vizier once and for all. He draws you into an illusory world, or maybe it's his mind. But once you find the true imposter, the game begins. Only the flame can kill him and he knows it. He runs like a wuss and you have to catch up. You just gotta wait for the right moment. The Vizier is dead, once and for all this time. The princess is revived and they live happily ever after. Or do they? Well, yes, but no. Not by her hands, at least. I guess if Mecner kept the rights, he would have made a third with this creepy witch, but instead we got this game. Not a bad game, mind you, but story for another time. Prince of Persia 2 is good. It has what made Pop 1 good and tries to expand upon it, mostly succeeding. There are new traps that can work in tandem, making oh so awesome moments, and hilarious fails.